What is up, you guys? So, for those of you that don't know, I spent 5 years working at BMW of Humboldt Bay. And if you had come in, you had the opportunity to meet me on the sales lot. And through the entire process, I could be the only person that you meet. I was a BMW genius, client advisor, and finance manager. So I was recently just cruising Facebook and I saw this story of a young guy who went into a dealership and couldn't find a vehicle that was in his price range that he liked. So the car salesman shows him his personal car. And then the young guy buys the guy's car. I believe that the young guy was presumably, he thought he was doing this, legit. But apparently, the car was repoed months later. So I just wanted to talk about this. And then while I'm talking about this, we'll pull up I actually saw this on Jalopnik. I'm going to say that wrong. But just a mind boggling story because of some of the details that go into this. One, the salesman was a contractor salesperson and didn't actually work for the dealership. I know dealers. I know salespeople all over the country. I know auto brokers, wholesalers. I don't know a contractor salesperson. The exception might be if you're like best friends with the owner. And it's like, and you might come in to fill while some of the salespeople are out on vacation. For instance, I am waiting for that phone call just to go cover because it's needed. Very bizarre. Two, anytime you purchase a car in cash, you need to get that title. I'm going to pause this video. All right, the title. This is what it looks like. Under here, you'd have your name and address and the VIN. I'm not going to show those things. But you have this box down here. If you're doing a cash sale, you need that signed, dated, and you need to get it to the DMV right away. I have a car that's not registered, so I can't drive it around. It's my Honda. It doesn't have a legal carburetor on it. So for my Honda, I have a title that's in my name, but I don't have a registration. Get a title, especially if you're doing this cash. The other thing is that just very, very shady. So this salesman had financed the car and then sold it to the kid, took his money, but didn't give him the title. Didn't have the title to give because he had financed the car. If the bank owns your car, you don't have one of those. So you can't sign it over. That's what the title is for. When you see an advertisement online and it says title in hand, that's what they're saying. Also, if you're buying a car, you need to make sure that you see the title. Also, you don't want it to say up here, you don't want it to say salvaged, odometer, or it might say untrue odometer. You do not want it to say anything. A clean title won't have anything on there as far as, won't say anything like salvage or rebuild or taxi. Another one you don't want, fleet. So yeah, there's lots of these little things depending on your state. The wording will be different. You don't want that. You want a clean title, unless you're willing to do that. I've actually, at the Chevy dealership that we owned, um, I've done that. I've sold cars that used to be fleet vehicles, that used to be rentals, and they were great. The dealership bought them cheap. We sold them cheap. They were usually minivans. People loved those minivans. They didn't really care. They'd have like 60,000 miles on them. They'd be a year or two old. And we just have to disclose it. That's part of the business. And that's okay, because like I said, some people are happy with it, and they just don't care. So the other thing is salvage title. A lot of people will do salvage title on really high-end cars because they don't care. They're trying to get that dream car on a budget. And that's a whole nother ballgame. People are willing to do that. What happened here was fraudulent. So this guy that was supposedly an employee for this dealership, did not represent this clearly. And, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Another part of my job as finance manager was going through the entire document and making sure that the terms were clear, the interest rate was clear, financing charge was clear. All these things that, in California, they have to be disclosed, they have to be talked about. And I just thought this article was very interesting. So I'm going to pull up the article. I'll put a link to the article in the description. We'll take a quick look at it. I'm not trying to steal off Jalopnik's article here, but I want you guys to see it so that we can take a look at it together. So let's get into it. All right, you guys. So here we are. And you know what? I just realized as I opened this up, there's more to the story. So the salesman had a bankruptcy, and he got the car as a sheltered asset. Whatever. It all comes down to, did he have the title to sign over? And obviously not. So yeah, this is the article. 5 months after he paid cash for it, it was repossessed. The kid was Jonathan Fredericks. Maybe we'll go look this guy up here in a minute. So it was in Dallas. The salesperson's name was James Steelman. I've also looked into this a little bit, and Mr. Steelman has actually said that he does want to fix it, and he is trying to do something. He says it was something to do with the bankruptcy, but so they gave the salesman 10 grand. Yeah, he said, I'm just trying to make it right the best I can. Yeah, and then Jalopnik really takes it out of him, says he was convicted of fraud. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll drop a link to this in the article. Um, great article, but let me see. I want to find this thing where it says that he didn't work for the dealership. He was like a contractor for the day. There it is. They also claim that Steelman was working as a freelance salesman the day that Fredericks bought the vehicle. Yeah, you know what? I've never really heard of that. I just don't. I don't think many dealerships would be cool with that. The exemption would be somebody coming in for a day or two to cover absences. There was a dealership that, we had part ownership in each other. And the owner of that dealership would come over and cover if all of our managers was out while I was still in training. So under really, really different circumstances than what this looks like. This is so bizarre. I hope to do a follow up on this if we get more information. But yeah, if you guys have made it this far, if you guys like the videos, like and subscribe. And like I said, go to Jalopnik, read some of their articles. They're awesome. All right, guys, late.